trading in 2020. And in 2026, well, I actually retired from trading in 2020, and in 2026, I returned. But I didn't come back as a trader. I came back as a scientist entering the laboratory because I'm fascinated in one question. How do people align their actions with their intentions when it matters most? Not when it's easy, not when they're motivated, not even, not when everything is going their way, but when pressure shows up and their nervous system wants to do something completely different. The return is the framework. The markets are the demonstration. And every day I step into one of the most uncertain environments in the world and attempt to align my actions with my intentions in real time. Sometimes I succeed, and sometimes, like yesterday, well, I don't. But every session gives us another opportunity to study what happens when human beings meet pressure. So whether you're here to learn trading, underrated performance, or understand performance, or simply watch the experiment unfold, welcome to the laboratory. And of course, yesterday it was underrated performance. So that's where that's coming from. Now, let's get into the markets. Oh my goodness, all sorts of stuff is going on, and this is absolutely amazing. All right, love this, love this, love this, and I hope that you are tuned in and you enjoy, because we are about ready to get into something really, really fun. First of all, if you aren't already subscribed or you're not a member, go over to Discord and join the server. Okay, first and foremost, join the Discord server. Don't worry, Monday. Well, and the link is go to one of the live streams on my YouTube channel. Click on the comment section. It will be a pinned comment for the server to get involved in the server. Monday, I promise I'll have an exclamation mark for a command, and we'll just be able to do the command and have everybody come in that way through the, everybody will have access to it. It'll be very simple. Today, I provided a plan for my day, and my plan was to go short up near the highs. Then, of course, news came out at 8:30. All sorts of stuff happened, and the market opened, and now we're absolutely 100% tanking. We're going to wait for initial balance to come in. We're anticipating the trend to continue on the downside. Don't have a lot of rejection down here. Expecting the market to possibly come down to 594, 578. If price action breaks through that area, we're looking at the 29,380s. If we break the 29,380s today, where can we possibly go? Our next point of possible support is going to be around the 588 area, possibly into the 209 area. Seed of Life, we're never late, just early. No, you are good, my friend. You are good. Perfect timing. Go into Discord this morning if you haven't. Go into the trading tab, or the trading section, whatever it's called in Discord. I don't know, guys. This is all new to me. I'll get it all figured out. Go into the trading, and you'll see my trading plan for the day. It happened right at the open, and so there was no way of entering it, which is fine. But the plan is sound. The plan is sound. I love it. I don't even care. As you can tell, I was looking at getting into a position up there at the high. It just didn't fill me. And I forgot to take off the order. Okay. And I wanted everybody to notice something. For at least this week, maybe a little bit into next week, I am switching over to sim. Okay. And this is why. This is all new for me. And I want to be able to give myself the time that I need in order to be able to figure out how to make this work live and allow me to work within current market structure as well. Okay. I know myself. Being sim, being not sim is the same for me emotionally. And I'm going to trade this just like if it was live. I'm talking right now, I'm not talking about this trade at the moment because I'm talking about something else. Why did I get into this position? I just got into this position this morning on the short side because we broke through, we pulled back, got back below where sellers were, and a nice downtrending market with news-driven market activity. What is the news-driven market activity? We had a PCE report coming out this morning. We had GDP coming out. Things look good, right? Here's the problem. What we had yesterday, right before the market closed between 4 and 4:15, huge move up, huge move up. Why? I believe it was people positioning based upon the news. Either some people had the news, I don't know, I'm not getting into conspiracies, I have no idea, I don't really care. But we had individuals positioning themselves for the long side, okay? And then we turn around, we open the market, huge down in a trend. All I did there on that little short was identify where sellers were in the market on a pullback. We got back below those individuals, back below those orders, and I went short. It's just a momentum trade. Okay. I learned how to do stuff like that when I was day trading stocks, news driven stocks back in 2008, where we were just using the tape only, the bid and sell, or the time and sells, nothing else, no charts, no anything else, time and sells, and just looking to see how the time and sells updates on current price coming in and going out. That's all we did. That's all I did on that move. The same exact thing. Now we have an area here where price action is coming into some possible support and buying pressure. Where is that price coming in from? Around the 595 and the 576. And if you were just paying attention a few minutes ago, I said this is one of the areas that the market could come down to. We're seeing some buy pressure out of it. Go figure. Where did that area come from? That area comes from higher time frame perspective of value area lows in different time frames. Okay. So the value area lows at different time frames, we find buyers supporting that, and then what do? We can immediately go back down again. This is why I'm sim right now, because I should be short, and I'm doing a lot of explaining, and I need to figure out how to trade and explain at the same time. And until I do, I have no business going live because I'm not set up as a trader, watching my stuff, doing the right things at the live edge. I need to practice this. The way we practice is sim. Okay, sim is not a way to practice your orders. Okay, sim is still not sim is not about practicing orders. Sim is not about any of those things. Sim is about practicing the confidence that you need to show up live. If you are nervous in sim, or you're having problems in sim, either with your orders or order execution, or you're still nervous getting into a position, do not go live. Do not go live until you have the confidence to do such. And right now I do not have the confidence to do such. Why? Because I'm doing a lot of explaining. I'm doing something live, brand new, I've never done before. And to be quite frank with you, I'm not happy with my results. I'm not happy with how I feel when I'm trading live. So I'm going to work this out sim, and then I'm going to come back live. It should only take me about a week or so. I'm pretty quick at making adjustments when necessary. That's what this is all about, right? There's no reason of doing performance if you can't make adjustments. Okay. Market is highly volatile, but there's still positions in here for us. I was just scoping this out right here on the buy side. Okay. What would I be looking at for a sell side? Nothing right now on the sell, even though we're in a big, nice trend. Why? Because we're currently trading a value off of unfair lows, off of higher time frames. What can we find down there? Possible support. Until we get below those areas, I'm not interested. Where's an area, a good area of interest to start scoping out positions? Right, basically where we're at right now in this unfair, in these low volume nodes. That's it. Low volume nodes right around other periods of low volume or value area lows. What is that telling us? We should see support in the market down here. And if market comes down through and trades back, comes back down, we should be scouting shorts. Even in volatile markets, we can utilize a short-term chart to see these areas and pinpoint, know exactly where strong sellers and buyers are, understanding that principle and being able to take action just like I did on the short side a few minutes ago. I missed the other short and I missed the other long because I'm explaining too much. Again, that's why I'm sim, so I can figure this out. And I don't want to mess myself up psychologically trying to do all of this stuff by putting too much stress on my nervous system while I'm going through all of these changes. The best thing I can do is, instead of trying to stop going live right now and then figure this out, or stop streaming live and figure this out, I'm going to figure out when I'm at live or I'm on live. Why? Because that's the lab. If I'm not doing this in front of other individuals, what's the point of it all? Because it's not about the trading. It's about being able to identify your intention and move into that intention. Know what you need and allow yourself the time in order to be able to do it. What are we doing right now? We're back below this little area, back below here. We are pulling back. Boom. Guess what? Short. A nice little short signal. Up 455, 105. Lock it in. Up 460, up 500, lock in 170. There we go. That's how you trade momentum. That's how you trade volatility. Know your areas, know what you're looking for, know where buyers and sellers are having a conversation, know where to enter the market, and know how you're going to be managing your stops. Drop the mic. I'm out for the day. Questions? I know that was a lot of information. I know I'm speaking a little bit louder at the moment than I normally would, so I apologize if I broke anybody's eardrums. Wasn't my intention. This stuff is so meaningful to me. Not the trading, not the results. Screw all of that. What's important? What's important is our lives. Our lives, not our livelihood, our lives and our enjoyment and fulfillment of our life. That is what's important. To live intentionally, not purposefully. What's the difference between a purpose and intention? A purpose is, oh, well, it's a life purpose. I need to know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. No, you don't. Pick something right now. Walk into it. Do you enjoy it? Great. Walk into it more. How do you walk into it? You do it. You live it. You align your actions to it. And if you enjoy doing it, you're going to enjoy aligning your actions to it, because you're going to enjoy what you're doing. That's why I'm here. I love this. Love this with a passion. With a passion. And that's where the octave of my voice is coming from, is the passion of doing this. Let's get back to the charts and let's get back to trading. Where are we at? Nice big down move. Where should we be expecting price to come to next? Look for a possible pullback into this area. If we get a move down into this area, where are we looking at for possible entries off of here? Not in this area, not like here. Why? Because we have a low volume node here. What do we not have down here? We don't really have a lot of low volume nodes. In fact, we have a high volume node where we're expecting price action to act as a magnet to bring price back to it. Why? Because a lot of buyers and sellers were in there in that area in that time frame. If you're going to go back and revisit an area, you're going to go back and probably visit an area where there was a lot of things going on. Think about people going on vacations. Some people go to places where, some people are going to places where, they're kind of off the beaten path and stuff. But a lot of people, when they travel, they have to go to the city first. Why? Because that's where the airports are. Because that's where the stuff is. That's where everything is going on. You really think that human nature changes just because it's in a chart and price action is different? No, we all act the same exact way. Think about how humans behave. That's the way markets are going to behave. What's going on right now with the sell-off? People are scared. They're a little bit frightened. They're calling up the brokers this morning and saying, hey, get me out. And where are they going to stop? And where does that all stop? Well, when the big participation happened. Why? You really think that the individuals running the markets are just going to turn around and pull a bunch of money out? No, they're going to try to do the best interests of their clients. And they're going to stop. And when they stop pulling the money out, price action is going to move from those areas. So where is an area that we should be looking for rejection? Right around in here. Right now where price is. Now that we know where rejection is, let's go to the short-term chart. What are we seeing? Rejection. But we're not seeing participants entering the market in a big way. Is that confirmed rejection? No. Should I be looking at entries around here? Absolutely not. Why? Because there's no big participation in the market. Why am I playing when there's no participation? Wait, be patient. Scout yourself out like a hunter. If you're a hunter and you're paying big money for $15,000, $20,000 to go someplace exotic for hunting, you're not going to just turn around and be like, ah, yay, and yelling all through the jungle or the desert or wherever you're at. It's not going to happen. You're going to be quiet and you're going to wait. And if you're paying that big of money, you know what it means to wait. You know what it means to wait because guess what? You know your prey. You know what you're after. And you're not hunting prey here. You're hunting areas where you can manage risk. And where are the participations at? Right here. What did market do? Opened, came down, tested the participants, and then went. Why am I not in right now? Because I'm talking, because I'm not trading. Why am I sim right now? Because I'm doing too much talking and not enough trading because I'm trying to explain this stuff. Give me a little bit of time to get myself focused. So I'm on sim and I'm waiting. But guess what? I'm calling this stuff at the live edge. Tim, thank you so much. 100%, 100%, 100%. Seed of life. I like what I'm hearing. Guys, this is trading. This is trading. So what should we be expecting? If there's support here, where can we expect resistance? Back into low volume. Let's move up on our short-term chart. Not because we're focused on the short term, we're looking for entries. We are here scouting out positions where we expect price action to react. Where is our prey? Where are we going to go find our prey? We're not just looking for them, looking at a GPS and a piece of technology. No, we're actively scouting. We're looking for footprints. We're looking for areas where we can get an advantage against the prey so our scent isn't downwind. We're hunting. And if price action comes back down here and we're not in, beautiful. What do? Look for a move down, look for a pullback back, because if we're going to if this is an area of contention, what should we see? High volume in that area, participants. There it is right there. So we should see a possible break of this area, maybe even a pullback here, or new participants entering the market for a pullback, for another entry to move back into the direction of volatility. Questions? Comments, concerns. Have I scared anybody with my excitement this morning? And I'm not sim right now because I'm scared of trading. I'm sim at the moment because I need to figure out how to do this live in front of individuals. And I don't know how to do that yet. And you know what? I'm admitting my freaking shortcomings. Why? Because by admitting my shortcomings, I can make a difference. I can take different action. I can do something different. Because I didn't like how things worked yesterday. And what do we have? Just broke the low, right? Coming back. Where are we moving to? We didn't quite test in here. We get back below. Let's go short. Let's go short. And we know exactly where we need to be out. Boom, volatility got me out. Okay, beautiful. That's fine. Let's get back in because we're right back to below that area again. And maybe this time it's going to work out for us. Boom, boom, there we go. Price action's moving so fast in here. Unless you know what you're doing, please don't trade this, please. And I probably wouldn't be trading it on a live either. But if you keep on allowing it to cycle back through and you just move your stops, okay, in a quick volatile market like this, you can still be profitable. I don't know. Did anybody pay attention what the P&L was before I entered those positions? Am I down from where I was or am I up? I have no idea, nor do I really care. That's not what this is about right now. That it's not about profits. It's about understanding market conditions and how to trade them. Now, what happened here? I'm seeing things here, but I'm not seeing anything here. Things just, it must have moved way too fast for me and I didn't even notice it. So this is a dark area for trading, right? And you're trying to grasp what action. I like what I'm hearing. Yes, I understand a bit, and I'm trying to grasp what action trading is all about. Yeah, this is absolutely news-driven trading, and it has its own nuance. It has its own nuance. And what we're just doing is looking for the participation. This is the difference between volatility and momentum. We're not seeing momentum here, we're seeing volatility. What is volatility? Markets happening so fast and moving so fast that you can't really even react to it. That's volatility. Volatility is very hard to trade in, and don't try to trade in volatility. Wait for the market to slow down so you can trade momentum. Okay? What I'm trying to do right now is show the areas of participation where, as traders, we should be hunting, and then being able to see the hunt live at the live edge, knowing what we should do, and then being able to execute around it. I'm demonstrating something here, not to be followed, not to be whatever, to be understood. Understood the difference between volatility and momentum. Understand our areas of why those areas are important. That way, when they set up, we're already going to have the confidence to trade them, because we're not like, oh, well, I wonder why this is happening right now, or I wonder why I'm actually getting in because this indicator is telling me, or, because this fib level is telling me off of a retrace. Now, we understand market participation. We understand the people are in it. You mean the auction? You're still trying to understand the auction? Is that what you mean, Seed of Life? If you can, ask me a specific question about the auction where you're having a problem with it. And what's price action doing? It's trading in our dead zone right here. It's trading into this area, rotating. Why is it rotating in this area? Because it's a high volume area. What should we anticipate there? Rotation. Why? Because price traded here for a length of time before. Why are we expecting price action to not trade around these areas I've pinpointed? Because it's low volume area. Price action traded less time there, less volume there, should spend less time there. Price action spent more time here in this area. It should spend more time there again. What does it mean for a market to spend time someplace? Markets just don't flatline. They trade in ranges, what people call chop. That chop is spending time, rotating in areas. If the rotation is wide enough and the volatility is slow enough and the momentum is enough, trade those ranges. Don't get caught up in chop. Why do people get caught up in chop? Because they try to short down here and they try to buy up here. If you're trying to buy the high of the range and you're trying to sell the low of the range, you're going to get chopped up, because at the low it's going to reject and move back to the high. At the high it's going to reject and move back down to the low. And you're going to get chopped up because you're trying to buy and you're trying to sell. Try buying, try selling, because you trust what you see and you know when you're in that rotation. Where's a good place to sell right in here? Where sellers and buyers are participating, where sellers got strong again. Anticipate price action to come down through that area. What is price action doing? Coming down through that area. Where's the next rejection? Right here. Price action should test up here. Boom, I'm stopped out. Why? Because they tested up here. And no, Tim, I am not running into losses, thank you very much, because I know what the hell I'm doing in the markets, because I can read the auction. And I'm sure your Telegram group is not about auction. Now, if you're talking about recovery for gambling addiction, maybe I need that. No, I don't, because I don't gamble. And don't talk about recovery in my chat. It's ridiculous. Nobody's recovering from anything other than maybe trying to buy into highs and sell into lows. And I'm sure your methodology is doing exactly the same. Thanks for playing. I choose not to participate. So what are we doing? Back into the highs again. Where's the conversation? Right here, right here. We get back through the conversation. Here's support because there's buyers in there. What did the market do? It's going up. It's moving now back into what we can call rejection area of low volume. You see the market shift there in the auction? See how I went short and I didn't go short here at this point? when it was down here this last time? Why didn't I go short down there? Because I was talking? No, because of the auction itself. Here's the auction down here. We just got off the rejection point. There's the sellers in there. Boom, sell. Where should we test? Right into here. Where should our stop be? Right in here. What are we expecting? Price to come down through this area and back down through here. What are we seeing? Price doing exactly what it is that I'm talking about in an extremely volatile market that most people have no idea what they're even doing in. And if they try to, they get stomped all over the place, and I'm making money. When sellers and buyers are having a conversation, when will it be best to take a trade on volume profile? Oh, I love this question. This is absolutely amazing. So first of all, okay, where the auction is being participated is always in your low time frame charts. Okay, that's where you're really going to be able to see the participation. What the profile is telling us, the volume profile is areas of interest. Why was I interested in this higher auction up here that took place? See, look, we have an auction here, auction here, auction here, auction here, auction here, auction here. If you try to trade all of these auctions on this time frame, you're going to get chewed up and spit out. Okay, got to recognize your areas and your longer term. Okay, you got to understand the auction in the longer term. Where are we currently trading? We are currently trading in value of a longer time frame volume profile. Okay, not a TPO, not a time price opportunity. Okay, volume. And then we are in a more recent low volume or value area low of unfair lows of yesterday's profile. Okay, and what we're doing is we're identifying a rejection area around value area low of the prior session. Why do we use the prior session? Because it's static. Because the current session is dynamic. It's going to change. Our value area is going to expand here at some point in time because we're spending time down here. This value area low is going to shift down here into this area at some point. It's dynamic. It's going to change. This is our static information. Get your information and your reads from the static data, and then utilize the dynamic data to time yourself in. Okay? To time yourself in. Don't use the short-term charts to time yourself in. Use the short-term charts to time yourself in, but don't use the long-term charts to get your areas. So let's go up. Where did price action come back to? This whole group of auctions right here. Why would he expect it here? Look where this price is. It's 576. 576 is in our area. Now that we can see an area of interest, we go over here and find our auction in that area. Now we have a seller here, right? Seller, we came down, tested here. The buyer stepped back in. If you would have shorted here from the sellers off of this auction, you would have had revenue if you were fast enough. Now we have sellers stepping in again, okay? But we know that we have buyers stepping in here. Well, the auction isn't complete until we come back down here and test, because this is where buyers were strong. If we get back up through here and we're testing and buyers are already strong at lower prices, probably we're going to break higher highs, which is exactly what we're doing. But we're still in this range. So where's our auction? Our next auction's here. Possible stuck buyers up here. Where are our buyers at? Down here. And expect to test into here, test back into here to retest to make sure sellers are in. And then we want to short someplace in this area or in this area. The low time frame is always telling us who's in control and the areas there's probably in control from. Look, we're just moving quickly through here. We're not really doing much until what? The next auction comes in. Where's the auction at now? The auction is in here. We don't even have to worry about this anymore because now we're at higher prices. Where are the sellers at? Down here. I want to see price action come down here, come back up here, reject, and I want to short someplace down in here. Let's see if it happens. Why? Auction, test the prior auction. If it doesn't, we're just going to go up. See, we're just going up right now. We're not going down. We're just going up. We don't want to short when we're just going up. So now we want to get through this area and see price action come down through here, then come back up to test where buyers once were, and then we can short. But what just happened? We don't want to shorten here off of this area now because we got another auction and price just went up. Now we're at another auction, but this auction is of no interest because we're no longer in an area. So what should we be expecting now? Imbalanced market condition higher on the low time frame chart. Now we switch from shorts, so we go back to longs. Where should we expect price action to rotate back down to and test again? This area. And then we can look for long positions. So the volume profile gives us our areas. We use short-term auctions to define those areas into a pinpoint area where we can make decisions on them. Because how do you make a decision when you're trading in a range here? Oh, I need to go long, I need to go short. How do I know? Which one is it? You got to utilize the auction information on the short term. Think of a guitar, okay? Your chords up on top, right? All your chords come from, right? That's the mechanism, right? The art is where you play on the right side. I should be long right now. I should be long. We just tested in here, okay? And the buyers came in. I should be long with my stop right down here, okay? Looking for about $200 or so, move stop to a break even. Let's wait for it, see if it happens. Boom. Move your stop. Didn't come down here to this area, and there it goes. Right? Why? I was just talking about it. We got above our little area here, came back into the auction I identified earlier. Buyer stepped in, buy in this area, put your stop down here right below this area, and there you go. Does it come back down and test again? Yes, but you need to, if you're doing this, you're scalping. Look, it just did it again. Came back down here again, and came back above here. It's very, very difficult to act on it because it's volatile, right? Volatility makes it very difficult to act around, but I can speak it real time. I can't speak it real time and trade it both at the same time. That's too much for me to do. My little brain can't comprehend that much information at one time. Then what do? Come right back into the area, didn't even test the auction, and came back in. Where can you go into positions like that? Where the high volume nodes are. Because you're expecting price action to trade back into those high volume nodes, because that's where the conversation also existed too in a very short time frame. Now we're back below. But do we want to start going short now because we're below the auction? No, because we're above our area. We're still looking for potential longs. Very difficult to explain all this stuff in really, really fast markets. I have to talk fast. Things are happening fast. I'm processing a lot of information really fast, and somehow my brain is keeping up with the words coming out of my mouth. Okay? A lot of stuff is going on right now. Questions. Told you guys in the thing here. How do you trade, high volatility? This is it. Because it's the same way you trade anything else. It's just happening faster. Where's our auction that we're really interested in now? We want to get back below this area, and look, price action isn't spending time here. We're not rotating around here. We're just moving. Exactly what we would expect. The auction is still intact. How do we know the auction's intact? Because it's doing exactly what we expect it to do. Now we're back below it again. Where are auctions at? Right up here. Where is our area of support? Right here. If we test in here, where should we be shorting? Right down here in this area. I'm going to get ready this time because I had a little bit more time to get ready, right? Getting ready to short, waiting for it to get below the area. Got right to, not below. You got to be patient. Looking for rejection. There it is. Short, boom, stop, move it. $100 maybe? I don't know. But there it is. You see that rotation? You can't make this stuff up. Who else do you think is out there right now streaming live that's able to read this? I don't know, maybe a few people, but not very many. Not the ones that are out there just looking for fib retracements. And because I was only up like 4,000 earlier, maybe 3,000 when I started the stream, maybe 4,000. I don't remember. And now I'm $5,200. A lot of money? No, not a lot. But a lot of people won't even trade this condition because they won't even try to because it's moving too fast. Put a W in the chat right now if you think that, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Put an L in the chat if you just think I'm a loser. Come on, let's see it. Spam the chat. I'd like to see it. And this is great. Nobody's saying anything. It's either because nobody's here, which is possible. I'm a brand new streamer, so who knows, right? Nobody knows about me yet. Or, yeah, well, Nobody knows exactly what it is that I'm talking about. Thank you, Seed of Life. I appreciate you. I love this. I absolutely love doing this. I really, really do. That's how we read auctions. And if I can read auctions that fast, you know I can read auctions when the market slows down. And when the market slows down, you're going to be able to read them too. Please don't try to mess with these markets as they are right now. Please don't. It's just too fast for most traders. You're going to get yourself in trouble. You really have to be able to understand the auctions to do it. But you know what this day does provide you with? A day of high volatility, a day of seeing the auctions for yourself. Practice it. Practice this day over and over and over and over again. It's happening so fast, you're not going to remember any of it, okay? Which is just fine. All right. You don't need to. In fact, you don't want to remember the days of what happened when you go back and test them anyhow, because then you're going into it with a biased condition and you're like, oh, yeah, well, I did really great that day. Well, yeah, but your mind remembered what happened. Your mind's not going to remember all of these auctions. There's way too many of them. We're back down below areas again. Where's our auction above us? Still up in this area. We don't necessarily want to take these auctions in here. Why? Because we're expecting rotation in here. Price action is probably going to come down here and go all the way up here and test these auctions. We don't know. We can't pinpoint areas here because we're in an area of high volume where we're anticipating rotation. Our edge is here. Our edge is here. Our edge is not in here. If it's black space, you don't have an edge. Stop trying to trade in it. And what did I say? It's probably going to come right back and test these. It's like I have a crystal ball or something. How can you start what, Seed of Life? And I swear I don't have a crystal ball. The batteries died many, many years ago. And if you can believe it, nobody has batteries for a crystal ball. No one. Not even Elon Musk. It's ridiculous. And so my crystal ball is dead. It's over here someplace collecting dust because I can't use it because I don't have any batteries for it. Questions, comments, confused. Oh, the apps, like what I'm doing for my charts right here. Is that what you're asking, Seed of Life? Are you asking for the choice for the charts? And it's nothing special. It's no, it's so the software I'm using is actually Deep Charts, is what it is. That's all it is. It's nothing special. It's just Deep Charts. Go to deepcharts.com. Here, I'll go find it for you real quick. Deep Charts. Right here. Yep, it's just deepcharts.com. That's it. Deep. DEEPCHRTS.com. It's not an app, it's just a charting software, is all it is. And the charting software, the reason why I use it, honestly, is look at these buttons down here. At the touch of a button, I could put volume profile on this chart if I want to. I could take it off. I could put it over to the right if I want to. I can change these for number bars and just bring them right back into here. And now I don't even have numbers that I have to worry about. I'm just looking at the big trades themselves. I like the numbers because when the market's slower, I can see how buyers and sellers are participating around those areas as well. Gives me a little bit more time to pinpoint. Why did I trade so badly yesterday? Because I took my eyes off of the long term. I took my eyes off of the volume profile, and I just turned around and tried to trade in dark areas on the short-term chart because I'm an idiot. Because I can't do all of this at one time until I get it separated in my head and I can allow myself to do it. Not an idiot as I'm talking down to myself, more like an idiot being in the military as ID10T form, right? Because you did something dumb. You did something dumb in retrospect. I'm not being mean to myself, don't worry. I absolutely love myself. In fact, I look at myself in the mirror right in my eyes and say, Tony, I love you. Hardest thing I ever did in my life when I first did it. But it was something that was extremely important for me to do. How many people do that? How many people would even admit that they do that? See, now I sound like I'm crazy instead of just an idiot. Anyways, Price action came up above. Where's our auction? Where's our closest auction in our area here? Right here. Let's see if we come back to it. If we don't, then we're probably looking at a continuation play to the upside. Then we can identify our first auction that comes in after the continuation play has been established. We can look for a retrace into that and then a movement into balance. What's balance? Into this area. But now we have an area of contention that we're able to use. Why didn't I do it at the lower prices? We have way too many auctions. We have less auctions here. I'm not going to use the past auctions. I'm going to use the current auctions. So let's see what it means to have a current auction. Let's see how it develops so we can see it plainly and we can see it clearly. And no, I don't have any affiliation with deep charts, and I don't use anything that the deep charts that doesn't come with deep charts. And you can get both if you want to, deep charts and the dome, for which the dome is not the dome, but this is a heat map. I'm working on the heat map. I don't have anything established with it yet. That's another problem that I have in my live trading because I'm trying to teach here. I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to entertain. I'm trying to be live. I'm trying to trade. And I'm also watching the heat map at the same time, looking to see if I can develop a system. I don't develop systems in back testing. I develop systems live. Why? Because back testing, you can't see how the bars developed. You can't see the volume inside. You see it as a dynamic, and nothing in trading is dynamic unless you're looking at volume profile and utilizing it in the context of prior areas. You've got to create your systems live. Because if you're not, you're using static data, you're trying to go into a dynamic data, and you don't even know how your setups are happening real time because you've never seen it through dynamics. You've only seen it through static. And we don't have any auctions here yet. No auctions coming in. So there's nothing telling us of where we're looking for a pullback yet. Let's see if we can get a pullback that can give us an auction. Nothing yet, nothing yet, nothing yet. And what is an auction? Just when buyers and sellers are talking to each other in a particular area like this. Seller came in, buyer came in, boom. They're having a conversation. Large amount of buyers come in, large amount of sellers come in around the same price. I don't know what else to call it. To me, it's just like the easiest way to explain it is a conversation. Now we're back here into this area again. We can go off of this if we want to, because this is an auction now in an area. We don't need an established auction. Not quite there yet, right? But we didn't quite get there. But we're coming out. Where's our support at? Right here. Here's our area of support. If we get above this, I want to buy. We haven't quite pulled back yet, but we're pulling back into the area, near, around, or in. But we never got back up here to go long in the first place. This is going to probably sound a little arrogant, but I'm extremely just, what's price warning? Yeah, I placed the stop where I wanted to. Man, I should have gotten more out of that. See what I did there? We came down into this auction area here. We accepted prices higher, right? So I'm no longer looking at this as a rejection to go short. I'm looking for it for rejection to go long. So I reversed myself long, put my stop in, and I should have gotten a little bit more out of that, but I didn't have a chance to move it. And then I got confused in what happened over here to the dome, and I didn't get back in when we got back above it. That's what happens in volatile markets. Sometimes you make mistakes because the market's running too fast. Is this a good time to buy and hold? Did I see the drop in Bitcoin and Ethereum? No, I don't. Unfortunately, I pay attention to crypto. But you know what? I know an individual that does pay attention to crypto. And I have a feeling that I'm going to end up working with that individual pretty closely because I think people are interested in crypto as well. And we can have another individual that specializes in crypto. And if somebody else really loves doing this, they want to specialize in metal like gold, we can bring that individual in as well. And now we can bring into an audience of multiple individuals and bring into the aspect of the mental game as well. Not in a terms of, oh, wow, trading psychology and a trading mindset. No, a mindset that's going to build them the principles they need to take over their life. Amar just pointed something out to you for a bigger picture. Seed of life, little seeds for you, for the future. I got plans, yo. And is this a good time to buy and hold those assets? Um, you know, that's hard to tell. First of all, I'm not providing financial advice. Okay. So all of everything I say is my opinion and my opinion only. Okay. And what you're doing is you're soliciting advice from a non-licensed financial individual. Now, I was a licensed financial individual before, and let me tell you, the licenses don't teach you anything about the real world. Okay, nothing. It's all legalities and different things along those lines. If you do futures license, it's all about hedging, which nobody hedges anymore anyhow, other than farmers and stuff. And you work with generational brokers at that point in time. You're not getting into that industry. You're just not. Let's be honest, the way the world actually works, right? Yeah, everything is possible, but the probabilities of something happening is minute in some cases and then really strong in others. Okay. So let's be real, right? We can be as optimistic as we want to, but when we come down into the details of something, we really have to be realistic because optimism doesn't necessarily drive realism. Okay. So when we're looking at this in the context of the big picture, let's just look at the big picture. Okay. In fact, if we're going to do this, I'm not going to be in here engaged in trading right now. So I'm going to take us off of the trading for a moment and I'm going to bring us into something different, something new. Um, because the question is there and I might as well answer it anyhow. And price action's coming off of our little area here. Like I said, we needed to be switching long because we accepted price in higher areas of value and came back down again. That's what switches us from long to short. And so then we're looking for our auctions, right? And current price. And here's an auction and current price right here. So now you're looking for a pullback. And then you're looking for where resistance once was, which is here. We get through that and boom. In lower volatility markets, you can enter your auctions around here. You can enter in here, okay? These volatility, you want to give it more time and more space. So you want to wait for the support and resistance breaks. If you wait for the support and resistance breaks at a tighter range, you're going to get chopped up and chewed out. We're testing here into this auction. If this is strong, we should be seeing rejection in here, okay? We're not seeing that rejection yet. Let's see what happens at this lower auction. Sorry, I switched phases there for a second. I will get back to the question of daily charts in a minute. I only have about 33 minutes left on the stream, or 13 minutes left on the stream. I will get there in just a second. And now we're starting to come back down below. And we need to see if we can come down here into the 1275. If so, we can then switch our bias to the downside. Now we're coming back up here. Do we get back up through this auction or does it hold it as resistance? Acceptance and rejection. That's all that we're looking for, right? Acceptance and rejection. Above these prices, we're accepting. Below them, we're rejecting. If we're rejecting, we're going to be going short. If we're accepting, we're going to be going long. That's what you're looking for in the context of support and resistance. That's all it is, acceptance and rejection. Where conversations are where price action of buyers are accepting price, sellers are rejecting price at the same place at the same time. What does this buyer represent? A buyer coming in right below this area of conversation. And price action immediately went up and hit resistance. I can't make this stuff up. I was just talking about this. I didn't say a buyer could step in because, that's a market driven thing in real time, right? I can't forecast that. I can't say, oh yeah, a buyer's going to come in right below, the conversation. No, it did. But what did it do? It hit rejection. It didn't accept higher prices. It rejected the support and resistance area. And so if you're looking long there, you didn't get hurt because there was no acceptance. Questions? Is the light bulb coming on at all for anybody? Any light bulbs? Or you're all like, whoa, 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 and your ears are leaking? Hopefully nobody's ears are leaking. But this is a good day for ears leaking. If they are, I completely understand because this is a lot of information happening really fast. This is why you should stay out of volatile markets if you don't know what it is that you're doing. If you can't talk about it like I am, you don't know what you're doing because you can't see it because you can't talk about it. Price action coming back through, rejecting again. We got right through it. There it is, high volatility. Stop has to be down here. We're only risking $685 right now. Should have been in this area here. Price action drove a little bit higher, stopped out. So be it. Took a loss. First real big loss this morning. Okay, right back in again. Right back in. The buyers are in here. Get in a little bit earlier this time, anticipating rejection to break again. Why? Because we accepted above it. Now I have more space and more time. Should have already been to a break even, but it moved too fast. Price action's right back down here again, right? We're cycling through here. Okay, we should be seeing rejection, or we're cycling. The auction's not broken, but it's doing something a little bit different than what we expect. We should expect a breakout either to the upside or the downside out of this area, and we're trading around this area right now, and I don't like it. But look, boom, there we go. I don't know, got a little bit back. Not quite all of it, but a little bit. That's what we're looking at in this context. And if the market wasn't moving so volatile with just momentum, and you're able to actually think about what you're doing before you do it, well, then you can have more profits coming in because you're able to scale your stop properly. I don't know why it got me out of there. I didn't drop the thingy, but whatever. We'll get back in because I got stopped out when I didn't want to. Now we're in high zone. We're just rotating, right? This is now a mess. Why is it a mess? Because I'm not getting in around my areas, right? That's the problem. I'm not getting in around my areas. It should be in around here, but around here, I'm getting in way the heck up here. Let's go ahead and drop this real quick so I can bring price down because I need to put my stop below here. I don't even know what I'm doing now. Whatever. There we go. Stop below area of auction. Price action here. We're expecting resistance. We accepted that area, right? And so now we can say, okay, this was resistance. We're now accepted above it. Now we can put our stop down there, right? Locking at 120. We're up 210 right now. Up 300. Up 250. Up 430. Can move it into 215. Up 430, 435, 450, up 260. We're locking in 260. And this is a nice little area. Why? Because we should be anticipating us to come back and test, because this is a nice little area of buyers. Tested right below it. If market's strong, we're going to come back above. If not, it's going to come back and we're going to go below. Still down a little bit, about $500 off of that move, right? Because I think I was up about 5,200. But there it is. All right. Enough trading this. I think we got the picture. Let's get into the question that was asked. Is this a good time to buy? Well, let's see. I need my little thing here, and let's see if I can find what I'm looking for. This is the newest. Let's open main. I think it might be here. Let's look. If not, I'll just open up another chart and we'll just do it that way. And you guys can see how easy this charting platform is to work. Waiting for this chart. Okay. There we go. So let's go ahead and come in here and we're just going to create a new candlestick chart. Where's my button at? Now it looks like I don't even know how to use the platform. This is great. Whatever. Time, we want 1 day. And then in this day, we're going to change these bars, and I believe it's here. Nope. Here. Nope. Here. There it is. Okay. This is a daily perspective of overall market since May. Here's our trend. What are we doing right now? We are trading in a balanced market condition. This here is the first close above the last range that we had. This is another range we closed above. This is where I put my profile. Why? Because we haven't broke out of the range. What's happening? Right now, we're trading in value. Okay? We're in a balanced market condition and a much higher time frame. Okay? Looking for balance continuation. Where are we currently at? We are in unfair lows with low volume areas in these areas. What are we currently doing? Rejecting off of low volume and unfair lows, moving back into value. Where would we expect price action to move to right now? Up here to value area high around 31,000 is the expectation. Okay? That's the expectation. All right? Now, what can we also see about this chart? We are making lower highs in value. Price action was not able to make it back to unfair highs twice, which means we have a rejection of higher prices. Not acceptance of higher prices, rejection of higher prices. So first and foremost, we are not in a downtrend. We are not in a sell context. We're trading in value, in balance, doing exactly what we would expect an auction to do, finding where buyers are strong or where sellers are strong. Sellers are strong at the highs, buyers are strong at the lows. That's a healthy market. Trends are not healthy, guys. Trends is where you can make money. Trends are not a healthy market. If you're long term, of course, you want trends. Trends are not healthy in terms of short-term trading because it's an auction. For every buyer, there's a seller. A healthy market would be a stable market of no movement. It would be a flat line because for every buyer, there would be a seller and price action would never move. Markets become unhealthy when one gets stronger than the other. Understand auctions before you try to trade. If you don't understand that concept and you try to trade, you're in the wrong industry because you don't even understand the mechanism of what it is that you're doing. And everybody's upset because the market's going down and fearful when we're not even in a downtrend to begin with, because the market's still healthy because it's trading around value. Is it doing what people want? No. But people don't want a healthy market. They only want a trending market in the direction of where they want it to go, because they're attached to their money, and the attachment changes the perception, and the perception gets you to see something that doesn't even exist in the first place. Try that on for a minute. If you want to trade, you've got to change that mindset. And that mindset isn't a mindset to change, it's a perception. It comes from understanding and driven future behavior based upon that understanding, which becomes a habit, which becomes a ritual that determines future behavior before you even act. And if you want to trade, you're still going to be acting from those prior things. If the market's not trending, you think it's bad. You don't know what's going on. And if you can't get into a trend, you're doing something bad. And your future behavior can't work upon that. That's why you get in buying up here and selling down here, when the market wants you to sell up here and buy here, because that's what the auction is doing. We're not trading trends, we're trading auctions, and sometimes we get lucky and the auction turns into a trend, and now we can really make money. But if you know how to trade in an auction, you're still making money because you're buying the lows and you're selling the highs. Any questions? And on that note, I've got to end this. So if you have questions, put them in the comments in this video. Challenge my ideas if you want to. But that's the difference between trading and investing. Investing, love trends. You got to learn that trading trends are unhealthy. They're still tradable, but it's an unhealthy market condition because one participant is more aggressive than the other, and we don't know why. And it's going to be more difficult to trade because it's not trading an auction, and all a market is an auction. Drop the mic moment from Tony. Live the Return TV. I'll be here all week. Give me 1 second. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I am done for the morning. I'll be back at 2 p.m. If you have questions about what it is that I was talking about, ask them. If you have questions about what it was that I was doing, replay this video. Replay this video and watch it over and over again as I'm explaining auctions and those type of things. Pause it, rewind it, move it back again so you can see those auctions developing in a high volatility market, because this doesn't happen every day. And this is gold. I wish I would have had this information 30 years ago. Thank you everyone for joining. Truly appreciate you. I'm out until 2, a little after 2, probably 2:05, 2:10 for today, right? But I will see everybody later in the afternoon, and that's, of course, New York time. All right, everybody, you enjoy. Thank you so much. Have a great day. I hope you got something out of this session. If you did, please drop a comment and let me know. Thank you.